precisely to lay out how the UN is contributing to conflict prevention, preventive diplomacy. And certainly the EastWest Institute has a notable reputation in this domain, and I think to its credit and the way they have been able to constitute this particular conference by inviting so many of the key stakeholders and many of the practitioners and many of the organizations that are involved in preventive diplomacy to share experiences and to build the sort of networks and knowledge that we need to take preventive diplomacy into a much more public discussion forum, and to maybe also start building the type of recommendations that are necessary for the different institutions to carry this work forward. What I'm particularly pleased also in this conference, and one of the reasons that we're so happy to attend, is the fact that we have representatives from parliaments, that we have representatives from civil society, that we have UN organizations present here, but also many NGOs, many civil society organizations that are so much in the cutting edge of preventive diplomacy with their methodologies, say, of promoting dialogue, social cohesion programs of the sort that the UN really relies on in order to amplify the type of initiatives that we undertake. So very, very pleased to have been able to be part of this important. I think this conference is going to help is actually put conflict prevention much more at the center for the policy debate. Certainly in the UN, we look forward to the recommendations coming out of this conference to inform a very important report we have to submit to the Security Council in the next 6 months, the July report. And we hope to be able to incorporate into that report many of the issues, many of the challenges, many of the best practices that we're hearing about, in a way basically to get more engagement by member states, to allow us collectively to deploy faster, quicker, more effective prevention initiatives. I think that, as many have said, but not just the UN, prevention diplomacy requires maybe more financing, flexible financing, in order to be able to increase the amount of capacities that we have to deploy faster and more effectively. And the Department of Political Affairs, one of the big challenges we have is maybe addressing the issues of how preventive diplomacy is financed. We now have, thanks to the support of member states, some new positions, some 50 new posts that the department has benefited from. We also rely enormously on extra budgetary funding to support our political missions and our fast deployments, the deployment of our experts on the ground. But what we do need is predictable, secure sources of funding that allow a much, much rapid possibility of deployment. And here maybe changing the budgetary mechanisms and the way that finance is provided to DPA is something that we could explore with member states and of course interested organizations, since it would require quite a major change in the current financing. I think this is an essential part of our work, is how we work more collaboratively with the civil society organizations. And I made specific references in my own presentation as to how important some of the work that the UN is doing. It requires the type of civil society support, the type of advocacy, the type of commitment that we need from the broader society in order to build many of these peace-building initiatives, for them to become more sustainable and more lasting. And so how we are able to work on programs that build on social cohesion, that build on social dialogue, that build on dialogue processes. These are processes that require, by definition, a very strong participation of civil society organizations. So we're very much looking to reinforce that relationship.